2024 CR 0363, State of Texas versus Jacob Paul Moya. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense.
John Ross for defense, Your Honor.
And are you Jacob Paul Moya?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you entered a plea on April 25th of no contest. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 12 months in the state jail facility. There is no application for community supervision, and the state is taking in consideration 2024 CR 3404 as your plea bargaining agreement. The court has had a chance to review the stipulations. The previous judge found that there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court is finding that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty as well, and the court will find you guilty. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report? State?
No, Your Honor, but
Any objections to the PSI report?
None, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any witnesses?
We don't, Your Honor, just argument.
All right. I'll hear argument from the defense, and while the state is reviewing the PSI report, I'll hear argument from them after the fact.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Mr. Moya has been pretty open and direct in his narrative of the incident. Pretty open about and I think pretty honest about his personal difficulties and issues with drugs and alcohol. He didn't emphasize them a lot, but I do believe that he understands them to be serious.
So translate for me, how does "I have problems with drug and alcohol" translate him to having been to prison before for robbery and having all of these cases, and according to what I read in the stipulations, stealing people's packages from mailboxes when people are waiting for their items?
This opening is heavy and strategic. The defendant is trying to frame himself as someone changed by experience. Prison trauma is a real argument in sentencing, but the question is, does fear of prison excuse repeated choices?
And then they don't receive them because somebody has stolen them from mailboxes. I don't understand why the federal government is not involved, because it's the theft of U.S.
He's accepted guilt of that. We have no justification for that, obviously, Your Honor. The main 2 points that I would like to hit are that Mr. Moya, he's been in custody for about for 236 days now on this. He has been diligent in jail. He's not finding the trouble in jail. He has been attending AA twice a week since February.
So I'm assuming you're going to ask for something less than 12 months in the state jail facility.
Respectfully, Your Honor, yes.
All right. So why should I give him something? And maybe he knows. Why should I give him something less than 12 months in the state jail facility? He's already been, if this is correct, he's been to prison before for robbery. And what I'm looking at in the PSI report, he has a theft case. He got deferred for it. Criminal trespass, burglary of a vehicle, failure to identify, another theft case that was dismissed. I'm not going to consider that because it was dismissed. A burglary of a vehicle, second. Failure to identify that was taken in consideration. Failure to identify that was dismissed. Failure to identify that was dismissed. Assault, bodily injury, married, dismissed. Missing witness. Possession, penalty group 3, less than 28 grams, dismissed because there was no toxicology report. Evading arrest, detention, dismissed, placed on some other form of probation. Theft of $100, enhanced jail time. Burglary of a building, rejected, further investigation. Possession less than a gram, sentenced to 5 months. Another possession less than a gram, placed on probation, revoked. A theft case, sentenced to jail. Fraudulent possession of identifying items, probation terminated. Robbery, sentenced to 2 years in the prison. Another fraud case that was dismissed, convicted.
Once the case number is called, everything gets real. This isn't a debate anymore, it's sentencing at this stage. Guilt is already decided. What's left is how much mercy, if any, the court will show.
Convicted of other, and burglary of a vehicle with 2 convictions, sentenced to 6 months in the state jail. Then you have this case. So why should I consider giving him less than the 12? You want to raise your right hand?
Yes,
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Jacob Moya, Jacob Paul Moya.
All right, what would you like to say?
Your Honor, I understand the severity of my charges. I understand my history, and I'm not trying to justify anything that I've done, but I mean, I have learned how severe this can get that I don't want to go away. I mean, this time it's just 12 months, I know, but next time it could be longer, and I'm not trying to see the next time. I'm not trying to do this. I see how this is. I'm not trying to do this. I can honestly say, I know I caught the charges just recently, but I do now think a little clearer, and I don't think how I was when I picked up the robbery or those other charges. I'm not that same person, and I don't want to be that person. I'm trying hard to push away from being that person.
I don't know why it's so hard not to steal.
Honestly, Your Honor, I think it's just easier to do it. I know people work hard for what they got.
I don't know why people don't want to work anymore.
No, I was working, Your Honor. It was actually that week. I wasn't working. I wasn't home. But
So other people who were at work, because see, I want you to internalize what you did. Other people who were at work waiting for their packages to be delivered. Maybe it's somebody's birthday gift. Maybe it's something somebody's mom sent to them. Maybe it's something a family member sent to them that can't be replaced. And there's somebody just waiting for the postman to drop items in the mailbox so they can steal it. Taking somebody's vehicle, breaking into a vehicle, stealing items. That's some item that somebody worked hard for. I always would tell, I've been a defense attorney. I would have clients. They'd say, I don't have a job. I'm like, yeah, you do. They're like, what's my job? I'm like, you break into people's homes, you break into people's cars. That's your employment. While people are at work, you break into their house. Because I would always give.
This line matters a lot. A 12-month cap sounds small, but there's no probation option on the table. That means real jail time is guaranteed. The only question is whether the judge goes lighter or maxes it out.
My clients home truths to tell them, you need to look at what you're doing to society. You're a person in society that people have issues with because they're out here working hard, following the rules, and you're breaking them and breaking it in somebody's mailbox. I still don't know why the federal government doesn't start arresting people, because interference with the Postal Service, stealing mail, that's a federal offense. If you read the letters, even when a letter comes to your house and it's supposed to be in somebody else's mail, but the postman put it in your mailbox by mistake, you know what it says on there? It has a law on there about if you open this and it is not for you and you take it and you don't just put it back in the box, return to sender. Me personally, I always just drive around the corner, knock on my neighbor's door. Hey, they put this in my box by mistake. If it's junk mail, I just put it back in the mailbox because nobody wants junk mail really. But that's what you've been out here doing. And now you come to the court, you want sympathy saying you've learned. And I'm sure, hopefully, when you went to prison for robbery, did you learn anything from that experience?
honestly, Your Honor, I'm not trying to justify, like I said, but when I went to prison, I was put in some difficult positions where I can honestly say, like, I pray that a lot of people that are about to go to prison, probably younger than me, don't experience or seen the stuff that I saw.
Now, here's the thing. I know horrible things happen in prison. It would be nice if people could be left alone, just do their time in prison and learn. But prison, really, the only way to be rehabilitated I see in prison, if you're like 100% about rehabilitation. I know people in prison, guess what? They get beat up. People in prison get their commissary taken from them. People in prison get raped. People in prison will rape people in prison. Then they get out and they go back to their wives, their family member, acting like nothing ever happened. Oh yeah, I just raped him because guess what? We're in prison. This is what we do. I understand prison is a horrible place to be, Bear County Jail is a horrible place to be. I had clients who were over there who were bit by spiders. Next thing you know, they have a hole in their leg. It happens. It's a shame it happens. There's nothing I could do about that. If there is something I could do about it, I would be right in there doing something about it. So I understand prison is not a fun place. And honestly, it's not supposed to be a fun place. Some people say, when I'm released from prison, guess what? I have to watch my back 24/7 because I'm used to in prison watching my back 24/7 because you never know who's coming after you or what they're going to do. I understand. But you get out of prison, which you say was a difficult time for you, and then you come out and you still do this.
Well, Your Honor,
If
Oh, he,
if I could just interject, my bad.
yes.
I do understand. I wasn't on drugs when I had committed the offense, although I'm not trying to justify it. Since I've been in Bear County, I'd like to point out, I spoke with my lawyer. He said it would be a good idea. I was a painter from January, February, and I just recently stopped doing that. It was for a corporal. And then her husband, which is a sergeant for jail programs, hired me to do mattresses, and they actually said that since I've been doing such a good job, they want to move me to the main jail to show the people, the other inmates, how to do it, because they're already going to be done with it there. They're starting like an initiative to I guess eliminate the damage of beds, to make them and clean them. And I mean, I like that.
This is where the tone shifts. Hard prior robbery time plus a long theft history is sentencing poison. Judges don't just look at one mistake, they look for patterns, and this record tells a story the court doesn't like.
Me doing that, working, that's honestly, I've lined up a job for when I get out. I'm really pushing forward to sticking to that plan, because honestly, I like the energy and just how I am, how I am as a person when I'm working and I'm doing something productive.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
All right. I want to let you know, I internalized everything what you said, and I understand that you're on a path. You're trying to do better with your life. But sometimes sentencing is about punishment. And so I'm going to give you the 12 months. I'll give you credit for any time served. I'm going to take in consideration 2024 CR 3404. Did you review the trial court certification with your attorney? Did you sign it?
Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
All right, because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. When you're released from the state jail facility, if you think you want to use drugs, if you're trying to find a place to stay, if you're trying to find a free place for rehab and you can't find it, if I'm still here, you can come back here. I will pick up the phone, call somebody with resources so that you cannot come back here again for this type of situation. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you for that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Option, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Court is calling 2022 CR 1442, State of Texas versus Brandon Sierra. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Zach Dunn for the state.
Defense?
Sylvia Rosses and Christopher Ramos as the defense.
All right, and your client is present, correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right. And so we are here today for a hearing on an outcry statement. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. And would you call your witness?
Yes. Your Honor, the state will call April Vasquez.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
April Vasquez.
All right, state.
And Your Honor, very briefly, counsel and I had discussed at the end of yesterday that we would like to join invoke the rule.
All right, the rule will be invoked as of today.
Thank you, Judge. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you, counsel, for yesterday. Ms. Vasquez, can you please spell your name for the court reporter's purposes?
APR.
Harris, the key question: at what point does rehabilitation stop being believable? If you were the judge, how many chances would be enough before punishment becomes the priority?
IL.
Just one moment. Excuse me, Mr. Cano. You all need to move to that end because we're on the record. No problem. All right, we're back on the record. If you'll spell your last name.
Pasquez.
And ma'am, how do you know Gabrielle Guerrero?
She's my daughter.
And ma'am, at the time that you heard about allegations of sexual assault, how old were you at the time? How about this? Let me rephrase, ma'am. Were you over the age of 18?
Yes,
And how old was your daughter at the time?
she was underage, under 18.
Under the age of 18?
Yes,
You're certain of that?
absolutely.
Now, ma'am, when you found out about the allegations, where were you at the time?
I was in my car, getting ready to go pick up food for her and her siblings, when I received a text message from her,
And when you say her, this is from Gabby?
from my daughter Gabby, yes.
And when you went back to the house, did she mention who the allegation of sexual assault was in relation to?
Yes,
And what was that individual's name?
she named Brandon Sierra.
And ma'am, can you articulate which offenses or which allegations your daughter relayed to you that day? I apologize.
She stated that Brandon touched her inappropriately on her breast, and on her vagina.
And ma'am, other than touching on the breast and the vagina, did your daughter relay anything else to you with respect to allegations of misconduct, sexual misconduct by Brandon Sierra?
She did.
And what did she relay?
She stated that he put his penis in her mouth.
Anything else, ma'am?
That
This is the defendant's moment. Raw, unfiltered, and risky. Judges can spot rehearsed apologies instantly. The ones that land are the ones backed by action, not just words. Do you think this statement helps him or hurts him?
he pulled down her pants. He penetrated her vagina with his penis.
What was your daughter's demeanor at the time she relayed this?
She was crying.
Vince, any questions?
Ms. Vasquez, what was the date of the outcry?
I don't know the exact date, but I know it was in February of 2021.
Okay, and in February of 2021, how old was Gabby?
Oh, goodness. Maybe 13, 14.
Well, 13 or 14.
I'm not sure. 13 or 14.
Okay, well, what was her date of birth?
July 21st, 2006.
Okay, so if it was July of 06 and the outcry was February of 2021, that would put her at 14 years old, not quite 15 since it wasn't July 21st yet, correct? Would
I'm
that
not
be
sure.
accurate?
I'm not sure.
Now, where were you when she made the outcry?
I was in my vehicle.
You were in the vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and were you present with April in person or just on the, by text or by phone?
I am April.
I'm sorry,
I am April.
with Gabby, where were y'all?
I'm sorry, can you rephrase that?
Okay, well, let me ask you, was she in the vehicle with you or did she send it by text or by phone?
No, ma'am. She was not in the vehicle. She was in the house in her room and she sent me a text message by phone to go upstairs.
Okay, now that wasn't an outcry, it was just that she wanted to talk to you, right?
Initially, yes.
Right, and so where was the actual outcry? The outcry or when they're saying allegations? where were you and her when that happened?
The outcry was in her room, in our home.
All right, and so, isn't it true that when the officer arrived on the 21st and you were telling her what Gabby told you, you didn't mention any details about what you testified to today,
That's untrue because I am unsure.
okay? And you also told her that Gabby had told you that Brandon had been touching her down there, correct?
Correct.
Okay, but the details that you're giving today are more than what she told you, in fact, told you.
That's incorrect.
Now, isn't it true that at a later time, upon talking with Gabby,
Your Honor,
About
to
this.
Object before council finishes. The scope of this hearing is about the first time she was told, we asked about it. Council can cross her about that, but this is maybe proper cross-examination for the witness in general, but not for an outcry hearing.
All right, defense, are you asking about the outcry?
yeah, I'm establishing that what she's testifying to today was at a later time, not at the time of the outcry.
All right, I'll hear the testimony.
And so, so isn't it true that the further details that you've given this court today are from a later time that you discussed in more detail with Gabby?
No, ma'am, that's not true.
Are you telling this court that you, other than in her room on, the 21st, y'all have never discussed any further details?
That's not what I stated.
Pass the witness.
With questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. The rule has been invoked. What that means is you can't discuss your testimony with anyone. You cannot view anything about this case. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.